In the tunnel.
In the tunnel.
In the tunnel. You're listening to In the Tunnel.
Hello and welcome to In the Tunnel, episode number 51.
All right, we are back from our elongated hiatus. Sean was a storm chaser out there in Japanish area. He was trying to chase down some tsunamis.
Typhoons.
Unfortunately, as any good storm chaser knows, you take the plane that gets in when the storm is leaving the country. So he had to spend a couple weeks out there just having fun instead.
Yeah, but now I'm back and we're back at it.
We are back and better than ever, whatever that means. All right, Sean, why don't you take the lead?
All right, so let's get to talking to something we're maybe, 2 weeks late behind?
3 weeks.
3 weeks? All right, so...
remember, fantasy football draft season was like the first week of September.
Right.
We're a good month behind. We're a month behind.
All right, well, let's just not talk about that. Let's just talk about fantasy football.
All right, so if you decided that now is the time to draft your fantasy football team, I guess this doesn't have to do with drafting necessarily, but we have wacky stories of fantasy football past, especially because fantasy football is all about strategy and all this other stuff, and it's all like everybody thinks that they're an expert, but the fact of the matter is, stupid things happen in fantasy football too, things that you wouldn't think happen. So
Yep,
I'm here to tell you the stories. All right, so story number one, a guy who's out of the NFL in 2019 and has been out of the league for a few years now, Josh Freeman, former number one round pick. He was the 13th ranked quarterback for fantasy.
in 2012.
In 2012. Ranking higher than notables such as Joe Flacco, Eli Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, and Phillip Rivers.
Dude, there was a big high on him during those years.
Yeah,
the year before, I'm pretty sure people thought he was super underrated. Then he got such a high rating for the draft.
We're not talking Madden though. We're talking fantasy. Oh, you're saying you got drafted high?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know about that. I never touched Josh Freeman with a 10-foot pole. But a guy who's out of the league, placing way better than the 3 first-round picks from the 2004 class, which all 3 are probably going to the Hall of Fame. And, Joe Flacco is pretty adjacent to Josh Freeman, just lasted longer.
And
keep in mind, a fantasy football team in most leagues, you probably see each team have, 2 quarterbacks. That means 20 quarterbacks are off. 20-some quarterbacks are off the board and on rosters. This guy probably wasn't drafted in a lot of leagues, that year. At least he was probably more a waiver claim, and he was number 13.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on to story number 2. Big bust Trent Richardson was actually the number 9 running back in standard leagues in 2012 as well.
That was a bust.
Yeah, the guy who didn't make it in the or was playing in the fake football league, the Alliance Football
XFL?
League. No, Alliance, the one that failed earlier this year.
Oh.
Yeah. The one that the Hurricanes owner couldn't save.
Okay.
Yeah, so was at one point not looking like a bust, and then couldn't find a hole, and then boom. Ryan Tannehill, the ultimate game manager galore, meaning he doesn't throw for a lot of yards and touchdowns. Ryan Tannehill, the former wide receiver in college, was number 8 in quarterback points in 2014. And I cannot stress this enough. Ryan Tannehill doesn't throw for yards or touchdowns, which is the only thing that fantasy football quarterbacks stand to do.
He literally, that was surprising because even then, he's more of like a short passer, and mostly you have to expect that a lot of those yards are yards after catch.
You would, but also the fact that this is a Dolphins quarterback and they shouldn't be in the top 10 in anything.
All right,
except for the draft.
Yeah, okay.
For the draft.
That's fair.
Right. Everything is fair and holy when it comes to fantasy football. All right, story number 4. The San Diego Chargers defense, not the LA Chargers, back when they were the San Diego Chargers.
You know, the OG defense. Chargers? No, they're probably not even the OG Chargers.
I mean, you can only hope that they were and still are in someone's heart, the OG Chargers. Anyway, they were the number 18 scorer in all of fantasy football in 2007. Not number 18 among defenses, just number 18.
God.
That's how good that defense was. But didn't win a Super Bowl out of it, and I mean, didn't even get to stay in San Diego. Thoughts and prayers to, whatever happened there.
Yep. All right. So, on to actually talking about the NFL. You got anything to say, or any surprises about the current few weeks that have been gone in football?
The Bengals are shit.
Is that a surprise?
The Bengals bungle and the Bungles bungle. Let's see. The Dolphins suck, okay, and again, not surprising. The San Francisco 49ers, despite not really making a ton of, big splash moves, are somehow undefeated.
All right.
But they already had their bye week, so it's like... really,
yeah, they had an early one, right?
Yeah, last week, because I had to put George Kittle on the bench.
Okay.
TJ Hawkinson and Eric Ebron filled in my... and they both did perfectly fine.
Okay. Good for you.
You have a problem with that, Sean?
No.
Want to fight about it?
No.
Okay.
So how'd Daniel Jones do?
Oh, good enough for him to be my backup quarterback in one of my leagues.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, I had to get rid of somebody else.
Yeah, fair.
I did it for a vulture move.
Okay. All right, so
yes, sir.
On to what we're actually talking about in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The first list has come out, right? A couple weeks ago at this point?
Yes, sir. 122 nominees for the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2020. 8 to 10 of them will become Hall of Famers. So, in true stupid in the tunnel fashion, we're going to spin a bunch of wheels and decide the Hall of Fame class. We're going to do this over the course of the next 3 to 4 weeks, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to just, start keeping track of who makes it. And by the way, Sean, I will be creating a list of who makes it to the next round, so that you don't have to,
Okay.
keep track of it. All right. Just give me a moment. Why don't you talk about some hockey? So
why don't we just go through some of the nominees?
All right. Why don't we go through some of the nominees, Sean?
So, I mean, let's just start. We have quarterbacks. There are, what is that? 7 quarterbacks. Randall Cunningham, Jake Delhomme, Boomer Esiason, Jeff Garcia. You want to pronounce that one? Dave Krieg, and Donovan McNabb.
Jeff Hostetler.
Hostetler, that's how you pronounce it? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sort of surprised that Esiason is still on this list in the ballot. I don't know.
Why? Because he's a radio broadcaster now?
Not because he's a radio broadcaster, but he retired how long ago?
So
How long are
Who's
you
retiring
eligible for the? Because I know in a lot of sports, you're only eligible for Hall of Fame for a certain amount of time.
well, it's not exactly a Dave Parker kind of thing for the baseball thing.
True.
I don't know. Boomer Esiason. Let's see when he played. I mean, he's only 58, so.
True.
Right. He played until 1997, so
Okay.
he's still. I mean, eligibility wise,
Yeah, he's fine.
he's fine.
Okay.
All right.
So you want to go through the running
Document
backs?
ready? Sure. So we have Sean Alexander. We have 3 fullbacks and Mike Alstott, Daryl Johnston, and Lorenzo Neal. Then you have Tiki Barber, Ernest Biner, Larry Centers, Corey Dillon, Eddie George, Priest Holmes, Edgerrin James, Thomas Jones, Maurice Jones-Drew, Eric Metcalf, Clinton Portis, Fred Taylor, Herschel Walker, Chris Warren, and Ricky Waters.
Notables on that list?
Could be a big year for fullbacks between Mike Alstott and Lorenzo Neal.
Fair enough.
But then you got Sean Alexander, Edgerrin James. To me, Tiki Barber always belonged, but the thing is he cut his career short because he didn't like the Giants organization at the end.
Yep.
He could have kept going.
Yeah, but also, running backs, even then and now, don't have a long career span. So,
Yeah, but he only played 6 years.
yeah, true. All right. On to wide receivers. We got Isaac Bruce, Gary Clark, Donald Driver, Henry Ellard, Torrey Holt, Chad Johnson, Derek Mason, Muhsin Muhammad, Jimmy Smith, Rod Smith, Hines Ward, and Reggie Wayne.
Yeah, I remember the name Muhsin Muhammad solely off the fact that he made that ridiculous catch.
Yeah.
When he was on the Panthers and still couldn't beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. So
Yep.
Fun stuff. Hines Ward, not this year, but eventually we'll get in.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
By the way, the fact that the greatest show on turf, Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt both represented while they shared the field together that speaks to how good they both were.
Yep.
All right, moving on to the tight ends. Dallas Clark of the Colts, made famous by the Peyton of Mannings. Ben Coates, Keith Jackson, Brent Jones, Sean's favorite player of all time, Jeremy Shockey, and Wesley Walls.
I don't know about favorite player of all time.
I'll always remember this most meaningless thing of all time. But this was when I was first getting into football. I was watching a Giants game living in New Jersey at the time. And the thing about the NFL is you can't spike the ball unless you score a touchdown because it's a flag. So Jeremy Shockey in a game I don't know if there's a clip of it on YouTube even. He caught a ball and went down. It didn't make it. He was at least a few yards away from the end zone. Got up and spiked the ball, and the ball spun into the stands, I think, and he got flagged for it. And for some reason, I always remembered that.
I remember that.
Do you? It's okay if you don't.
No, that's okay. That's one thing where it's memorable. Because I remember when I was growing up, some key flags that I don't know. It's just nowadays, I guess I wouldn't pay attention too much because people do pretty dumb things all the time. But when you're growing up and you're watching the sports for the first time and you're trying to follow a team or a player and you just see that, you're just devastated as a kid.
I mean, I wasn't a Giants fan, obviously, but
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, it's not on YouTube either. So
yeah,
if
but
YouTube don't care, but
I mean, I was a Giants fan growing up,
every day and
so
every night. All right,
okay, on to the O line.
O line. All right, Sean. I know you're great with names, so let's see if you can get
Okay,
these.
okay,
This is always fun.
so we got Willie Anderson, Matt Burke, Tony Baselli,
Mm-hmm.
Lomas Brown, Ray
Okay.
Donaldson, Alan
Fanica.
Faneca, Kevin Gogan,
I don't know.
I don't know, Jordan Gross, Chris Hinton,
Hinton.
Kent Hull,
Mm-hmm.
Stevie Hutchinson, Lincoln Kennedy, Alan Cruz,
Mm-hmm.
Chris Samuels, Jeff Saturday, Brian Waters, Richmond Webb, Eric Williams, and Steve Wisniewski.
Yeah, you did it, buddy.
Whew.
Easier than it looked.
Yeah, aside
All
from the
right.
two on the first row.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not like I knew the names of all these guys pronunciation wise either. Like I don't know if it's Gross or like Gross or something like
Yeah.
that. Like you never know. It's players of a different generation for us. Anyway, moving on to the D line.
D
All
line.
right.
All right.
All right, so you got John Abraham, Leroy Glover, Big Snack, Casey Hampton. That was his nickname, Big Snack. Chester McLaughlin, Leslie O'Neal, Simeon Rice, Richard Seymour, who once punched Ben Roethlisberger in the face, Justin Smith, Neil Smith, Greg Townsend, and Bryant Young.
I like how you just have to mention that he punched Ben Roethlisberger in the face.
He was past his prime at that point. He was playing for the Raiders.
You're definitely past your prime if you're playing for Raiders.
I mean, he played for the Patriots and then the Raiders. You tell me when the better years were.
Alright.
All right, moving right along.
Two linebacker. We got Carl Banks, Cornelius Bennett, Lance Briggs, Teddy Bruschi, James Farrier, London Fletcher,
Mm-hmm.
Seth Joyner,
Mm-hmm.
Wilbur Marshall, Clay Matthews,
The original one, not the one who's still playing.
Willie McGinnis, Sam Mills, Chris Spielman, Takeo Spikes, Daryl Talley, Zach Thomas, Jesse Tuggle, and Patrick Willis. What do you got to say about my pronunciations there?
Better.
Better? Aside from Farrier?
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect you to know Pittsburgh Steelers linebackers. All right.
All right, on to defensive backs.
All right. We have Eric Allen, Steve Atwater, Rondé Barber, so Tiki's brother, is also up for the nominations. Leroy Butler, Nick Collins, Merton Hanks, Rodney Harrison, Albert Lewis, John Lynch, Terry McDaniel, Tim McDonald, Troy Polamalu, depending on which side of Pittsburgh you live in, Bob Sanders, Troy Vincent, and Darren Woodson. Sorry, I got all the easy names.
Sorry. All right, on to our favorite punters and kickers. We got David Akers, Gary Anderson, Jason Elam, all kickers so far. Jeff Eagle, punter. Jason Hansen. Is it Sean Landetta?
Oh, yeah, I had a typo there. I was really trying not to get typos in this.
That's fine. Sean Landetta, Ryan
Sorry.
Longwell, Nick Lowry, Reggie Robbie, Ron Stark, and Matt Turk.
Sounds good to me.
All right,
All
and
right. All right. And the special teams nominees, most of which are kickoff returns and punt returners, but we do have one who's not. And that would be Steve Tasker at the end. But the others are Johnny Bailey, Josh Cribbs, Mel Gray, and Brian Mitchell. All right. Now that we have gone through all of these fine nominees, excuse me, we shall move on to the, how do you say, spinning of wheels? Yes, sir. All right, so here's the way it's going to work. We set it up to have all 122 names on a wheel, and the wheel site said no. You can only have a maximum of 100 on a wheel. So we have 2 wheels of 66 different players. We're going to alternate 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And we are going to break it down to, I think we said, how
50.
many? 50 names for the first round. And so those will be those who move to the semifinalists portion in the next few episodes.
Yep. So we'll be switching wheels every spin, so there'll be about 25 from each. There will be 25 from each.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, let's just get rolling. You ready to?
Ready to roll or spin, however you want to say it.
Ready to roll?
Roll the dice, spin the wheel. Everybody knows to eat veal. I don't know.
All right, and we are spinning. So with this one, you'll see the name pop up because there's so many choices it can't fit them. First one to make it to our, like, I guess we call it quarterfinals because we'll have 2 more after this. Tiki Barber.
All right, Tiki. And
Wheel 2. Let's go.
all right. Wheel 2, Tiki Barber was the first one to be selected to the next round. Who will join him?
Clay Matthews. Not the one that's playing right now.
Senior. Oh, senior.
All right, and back to the first wheel.
All right. Geez, this one's hard. Mostly because I can't see the names and I can't take a guess as to who it's going to be. All right, let's see. Larry Centers, our first running back off the board, I believe.
Yep. Well, no, Tiki Barber, running back, right?
Tiki Barber, also a running back, it turns out. Pandering. It's a pander lad.
All right.
All right. I bet I'm going to go Steve Atwater.
I don't even know which wheel these people are in. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just figuring the safeties are in the second wheel. Oh, okay. Kicker, Gary Anderson.
Hey.
Gary Anderson. And
next.
And our first Steelers player has been inducted into the Hall. Gary Anderson played for a number of teams, though.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not in yet.
Oh, that's true. Just wishful thinking. Tony Baselli. Yeah. Number 5 on the board. On the big board.
Wishful thinking, but hey, he's made it one step closer.
When I grow up, I want to be just like him.
Alright. And?
Alright. Josh Cribbs.
Terry McDaniel.
McDaniel. I believe he was a safety. Let's see.
Yeah, these are pretty split down the middle, right?
Yeah, Terry McDaniel was a safety.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Searching for number 7.
Let's say quarterback. I don't know, just because I feel like it.
Jake Delhomme.
Nope.
Lomas Brown. Believe in O lineman.
Fair enough.
Yep, O line. O line.
What about like a linebacker here? Because he should be towards the end.
All right. Cornelius Bennett.
No.
Ryan Longwell.
Ryan Longwell.
Our second kicker.
Hey, kickers might have a great Hall of Fame induction this year. You never know.
Return of the kicker.
Never know.
Well, you're talking to the two podcasters who really never do.
The wheel thinks it knows.
Yeah, well, that's why we talk to a wheel instead of ourselves.
Lincoln Kennedy.
As in, Lincoln got shot by Kennedy.
Oh boy.
Historically inaccurate, but for the sake of the story, why not?
Fair enough.
All right, and number 10 on the big board will be
Lance Briggs.
Lance Briggs, a linebacker from the University of Arizona and the Chicago Bears. Lance Briggs was a good linebacker. Him and Brian are like sharing the defensive backfield together.
Oh, okay.
Or not backfield, but the defensive, I guess, mid-ground.
Yep. All right.
Moving right along.
Number 11, right?
11, a prime number, if you ask me. And it will be
Dallas Clark.
Dallas Clark, the tight end made famous by Peyton Manning's crooked head.
Oh boy.
Don't send me letters. I don't even have an.
Oh.
Hey, Sean, what's your address?
No.
Why not?
No.
Wilbur Marshall. Sean, Wilbur wants to know what your address is.
Wilbur can ask themselves.
Okay, well, let's hope that this isn't one of the scenarios where Wilbur is.
Anyway, back to the first wheel.
Okay, good news. He's still alive.
Torrey Holt.
Torrey Holt, greatest show on turf member in the Hall of Fame at lucky number 13. The same number that we all wore at some point.
Again, he's only in the running, not in. This guy likes to jump the gun a little bit.
Well, jumping the gun is how you get a. That's how you get false starts. Oh, James Ferrier, number 14. Another Steeler on to the next round. Here we go, Steelers. Everybody's going to be annoyed with me.
So wait, who are you missing then?
Troy Polamalu.
Yeah.
There's a few. Casey Hampton. Let's see.
Mike.
Alan Faneca. There's a few more that could still go, like 3 or 4 more.
Okay, well, we just got
Mike Allstott, fullback, you.
Okay.
Buccaneers fame. I'm liking some of the guys that came off in the second group of 10 here.
Mm-hmm.
Allstott, Torrey Holt.
Yeah.
These are The first 10 was kind of a little fluky. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, definitely. But I feel like it's getting like a good mix of, these are going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
And Albert Lewis.
Albert Lewis, the most famous St. Louis Cardinal ever. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Albert Pujols.
Yeah,
Albert is Albert to me.
especially St. Louis Cardinal right
Didn't
now.
Albert Hainsworth play for the St. Louis Cardinals?
But we're talking about the famous one.
Which one? They're all the same.
Oh boy. All right. Anyway.
My name is Jeremy, and I endorse this stupidity. All right, moving on. Number 17.
Is Donald Driver.
Donald Driver, friend of, I was going to say the program, realizing the fact that he's not been on the program. Friend of the Brett Favre and or Aaron Rodgers.
And or?
He played with both.
Yeah, true.
He won a Super Bowl with Aaron, played most of his career with Brett.
Yep. All right. So we're on number 18 now?
Yeah. Not a prime number.
No.
Divisible by multiple numbers. Mm.
Any even number at this point is not a prime number. Rondé Barber.
All right, we have both the Barber brothers onto the next round.
Yep.
This would be great if we somehow, based on a wheel, got both the Barber brothers all the way into a Hall of Class.
Yep. All right.
Talk about the wheel has spoken.
Well, it's not finished speaking yet. Still has another.
No, I'm saying hypothetically in the future.
Yeah.
Don't undermine me, Sean Menon. I will give out your address.
Sean Alexander.
All right, Sean Alexander. Wouldn't be any. Sean Alexander does not deserve to go. Steve Hutchinson doesn't get in because he was the one who was giving Sean Alexander places to run.
Yep.
All right.
All right. So who rounds out this 10?
The 20.
Yeah. Well, this group of 10.
Yeah, 20. That's the guy.
Sean
Landeta. Oh, Landeta.
Kicker? Punter?
Let's see. Yep. Nope, punter.
Punter.
Even better. All right, let's start a new 10 spot right here.
Yeah. All right. I gotta say, it's been grabbing a pretty good mix of the positions. Jeff Garcia.
All right, quarterbacks off the board.
So what are we missing now as far as positions go?
I don't know. I'm not keeping track of positions right now.
Fair enough.
Let's see. We probably don't have a D lineman.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Bryant Young.
Let's see. Oh, we have a D lineman now.
Okay. That was
Young.
super coincidental. Oh god.
Just make sure that Sean doesn't grab that in the edited version.
Alright.
Alright, number 23.
23. Almost halfway.
Who will take over Michael Jordan's spot in the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Clinton Portis.
Alright, Clinton Portis. Alright. Where will Troy Polamalu fall? In or out? Stay tuned. Oh. Oh, oh, oh.
Nick Collins.
Okay, I'm gonna say this, and feel free to disagree with me, but with the last name Collins, I just feel like he played for the Reds.
I mean, that's probably fair, unfortunately, but so this will be the halfway point. All right, number 25.
Correct. That's normally how the half of 50 works. Nick Collins played for the Packers.
Okay.
Who would have guessed?
Not us, apparently.
Well,
How
we
about
didn't guess.
Brent Jones?
Let me tell you something about my boy. That's all I got.
He's the number 25, halfway through our selection of 50 that are going to move on.
He's a tight end.
Hmm.
Brent Jones.
Okay.
All right, moving right along.
So will we get Palomalu or Palamalu?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Try Palomalu.
Nope. Richard Seymour.
Seymour. All right. Richard Seymour flying into the competition. Not a second too soon. All right. 27, we have Musin Muhammad. The pride of, with a name like that, you just had to have gone to Rutgers, didn't you? All right, let's see where he went.
Oh,
Actually,
God.
I think he went to like South Carolina or something. Let's see. Michigan State.
Not close.
Who would have guessed? Hey, it's okay.
All right.
Rutgers Big Ten, same as Michigan State, in a different era, or in this era, not the era where Musin Muhammad played, but
Yeah.
Leslie O'Neal. All right.
All right. So this would be 29.
29.
Henry Eller?
Let's see. I think he was in the wide receiver.
We've gotten quite a few of those, actually. And
all right. Whoa. Hello. We're dropping things all over the place here.
Oh,
Henry
boy.
Ellard.
And then Chester McLaughlin.
Chester McLaughlin. I thought you were going to say Chester Cheetah and just make a joke, but I'm glad you're taking this seriously.
And he was number 30, right?
He was number 30. 30-30.
All right. Your hope for Palomalu is dwindling.
Don't talk down to me, man.
Stevie Hutchinson.
All right, and with Sean Alexander, as I said earlier, comes Steve Hutchinson.
Yep.
Nail on the coffin here. Or nail right on the head, I guess.
Yeah, right on the head.
Of Steve Hutchinson.
Bob
Sanders. Of the Indianapolis Colts back in the day. Peyton Manning days.
Yeah.
Let's see. At number 33, it's only right to say that it is going to be, I don't know, someone on offense.
Probably.
Jordan Grove. O-line. I'm rooting for Hines Ward more than Troy Polamalu. I'll be honest with you.
We've had quite a few wide receivers though, right?
A handful.
I mean, for like 30, I was pretty sure there was like 4 or 5.
Well, remember, we already have like 2 kickers, so we really do need to like thin the herd a little bit.
Yeah.
Zach Thomas, the former linebacker of the Dolphins.
Okay.
And professional generic name haver. All right, moving right along. 35 goes to
Brian Waters.
Ryan Waters. Formerly of good athlete descent. I'm guessing.
Oh. Then
Greg Townsend.
Yep.
At number 36. All right, moving right along to number 37 as the wheel picks up speed. Wheel has to go to bed soon.
Jimmy Smith.
Oh, Gavaltis. All right, moving on. Number 38.
Eric Allen.
Not to be confused with Ethan Allen, the bathroom showcase store.
Is it only a bathroom showcase store? I'm pretty sure it was
I don't know.
More things.
Have you ever stepped inside of an Ethan Allen?
When I was a kid, maybe.
Yeah, I've never stepped in one that I know of. Ben Coates. All right, rounding up the second to last group of 10. Let's see who grabs the number 40 spot.
Josh Cribbs.
Josh Cribbs. We have a return specialist off the board.
Dang.
All right, the last 10 left. Anything can happen here. Jake Delhomme still out there. So
I'm
is
kind of
Donovan
expecting
McNabb.
another QB.
There are only 7 QBs out of 122. It might not happen.
Yeah, it might not. Gary Clark.
Clark, another receiver off the board. Disrespect to Hines Ward.
Is it disrespect to Hines Ward or respect to Gary Clark?
I said what I said, Sean. All right. London Fletcher. And we have a Redskin off the board. Or should I say R word?
Oh, boy.
I don't want to piss off any Native Americans. All right, at number 43, Nazem Kadri.
No, wrong sport. Jeff Saturday.
Jeff Saturday.
I can get behind that.
Well, he's the center, so... Or he was a center, so you would have to stand behind that.
Yeah. On to number 44.
Right. Dallas Clark. No, we already had him.
Yeah.
Neil Smith. I don't like all these Smiths flying off the board, I'll be honest with you.
Hey, their last name is like the most common, so you're gonna get most of them statistically.
Thanks. All right, number 45, we have
Isaac Bruce.
Isaac Bruce. All right. It's not a bad pull.
On to 46. Let's keep the wheels spinning.
Nick Lowry. I don't like this. This group of 10 so far has been a bummer.
Yeah.
Like, London Fletcher, Jeff Saturday, Isaac Bruce all deserve to be in, but, like, overall, it's been a bummer. Herschel Walker. The guy who was traded to the Vikings and started the Cowboys dynasty for all those draft picks and
Oh
stuff
boy.
like that. A famous Herschel Walker trade.
Yeah.
David Akers, we have another kicker at 48.
Oh boy.
And it had to be one of those lefties too.
Yeah, and aren't there less kickers than QBs? And we've had 3 kicker
Yeah, like
punters.
one less kicker. Well, the difference is the amount for each position.
Derek Mason.
Yeah. The thing is like we have so many wide receivers and running backs that take away from the quarterbacks, but then on the defensive side, you don't have as many per position.
True. Alright, what number is this?
Final spot, number 50.
Jeff Eagles.
A punter.
Oh god.
All right, Sean. I'm gonna need you to do me a favor.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna spin each wheel 3 more times to see who just missed the cut.
Okay.
All right.
So wheel 1. We'll just do all of the wheel spins at once.
Okay.
So wheel 1 will go first.
Now do 5 spins, not 3.
Okay. Chris Warren.
Chris Warren.
Just missed the cut.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Chris Warren. These are for the 2021 class.
Jeremy Shockey.
Shockey. He's probably a good enough tight end to get in. In real life, he has to get in before Gronk does. That's the big problem with Jeremy Shockey.
Yeah.
Chris Samuels.
That's 3.
Mm-hmm.
2 more.
Leroy Glover.
Yeah.
And the last one for
Wheel 1
Yeah.
is Dave Krieg.
Dave Krieg. All right, so Hines Ward, Rod Smith, Chad Johnson, Reggie Wayne, Edgerrin James, Maurice Jones-Drew, Lorenzo Neal, Fred Taylor, Eddie George, Corey Dillon.
You know, though, for like running backs, there are so many in that pool that like most of them are not making it.
Donovan McNabb also not making it.
Yeah. All right, you ready for wheel 2? 5 spins.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Go for it. Show us what it's all about on the defensive side of the ball. Steve Atwater.
Rodney Harrison.
All right, another safety. You just had 2 safeties come off.
Yeah.
Not Polamalu, though. Oh, there he is. Troy Polamalu. 3 straight safeties.
Can we make it 4?
Next year he'll be in.
All right.
Mark my words. If it's not this year, it will be next year. In real life, I think they could be first ballot Hall of Fame, but it'll be hard.
John Lynch.
Another safety. Oh boy.
Can we make it 5 for 5?
Can he make it a perfect 5 for 5?
Ron Stark.
I honestly don't know. I think he's. Let's just see. Punter.
Next time.
There you go. Next time. All right. So we still have the likes of. Let's see. Let's run through this here. Teddy Bruschi, I believe, did not make it.
Nope.
Willie McGinnis
Nope.
did not make it. Takeo Spikes, Patrick Willis, Casey Hampton, Simeon Rice. Let's see. John Abraham, Alan Faneca, Lincoln Kennedy. Let's see. Steve Wisniewski. Righty here. Tight ends. Rod Smith, Heinz Ward, Reggie Wayne, Chad Johnson,
Yeah.
Corey Dillon, Eddie George, Priest Holmes, Edrin James, Maurice Jones-Drew, Thomas Jones, Lorenzo Neal, Fred Taylor. These are all guys who didn't even make any of the. And then we have Boomer Esiason, Jake Delhomme, Donovan McNabb, Jeff Hostetler, and righty then. That marks everybody.
Yep.
So, if your favorite player was named on the list, good for you. Be prepared to have your dreams ruined next week when it gets chopped down to 25.
Yep. All right.
Hooray!
So, the other thing that's going on, actually, right
Hockey.
now, hockey season has
Yeah, when you
started.
The real regular season has started, and I don't want to hear anything about, the NBA needs to come back. If I see another reporter tweet a picture from SportsCenter of the fact that ESPN covered one NHL thing for the first time in 3 years and say, the NBA needs to be back now, I was like, I'm sorry you're bored, but the fact of the matter is, this is the United States, and ESPN, it's like finding dinosaur bones to see, hockey coverage on ESPN. So just relax and mellow out.
Yeah.
Weed is legal in several states.
Yeah. All right. So, wanted to do a quick division-based rundown.
Penguins aren't winning a division. There we go.
I mean, I think the Metro is super tough this year.
Isn't it always super tough though, Sean?
But the only team that I think definitely comes short is the Islanders. The rest of the teams, they should do if they were in any other division, good enough to at least compete for a spot. But in the Metro, you're gonna have 5 teams that are just gonna be 3 of them make it.
Wild cards. Basically.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think even though it's every year the Metro stuff, I think with how what the Devils did and what the Rangers did in the offseason, and it's not the Pens or the Caps got so much worse.
We still have Jack Johnson.
Yeah.
Although we're supposed to be trading him soon.
Okay.
So look out for that. I'm hopeful. I'll pee myself if it happens.
Yeah. And as far as the Atlantic goes, I think I don't know. The Atlantic's a little harder because I don't know. Neither of us follow a team in the Atlantic.
I think it's basically the Bruins until they hit a stretch where they're called.
I feel it's however Tuukka Rask is doing though with them.
Yeah, Tuukka and injuries and how their defensemen look because their defensemen are a little older, with the exception of McAvoy.
Yeah, but I mean they still have offense. Pasta.
Oh yeah, we drafted Pasta in our fantasy hockey league.
Yeah, see that.
More on that coming soon.
Yeah. Aside from that, I don't really like many of the Atlantic teams. I don't know. Like Tampa Bay is Tampa Bay, but like
Tampa Bay doesn't mean anything anymore.
yeah, but they still have Kucherov.
Yeah, but we saw in the playoffs last year. It
Yeah, but that's the
legitimately means
playoffs.
nothing.
Like, I mean, they'll probably make it.
Well, yeah, they'll make it. Obviously, I mean, they hand out extensions to guys who aren't, even ready to play yet. So
Yep.
we'll see. All right, let's just go west.
With how that preseason game went for the Sharks in Vegas, I want to see how the regular season goes.
Yeah, LA Kings in the cup.
No.
No. All right.
No.
Worth a shot.
No.
Oh yeah, Ilya Kovalchuk hoisting his first ever cup.
No.
No.
You'll have to solo. You'll have to solo host a show if that happens.
No. No. I didn't do it when you went to Japan, and I damn sure ain't starting if Kovalchuk lifts a cup. You'll be on the microphone too, young man. All right.
What do you think about Nashville?
I mean, same old.
They lost. I mean,
they shuffled the deck, and their window to compete is still open a little bit, but eventually it's going to close.
But I mean, they lost their defensive depth for a prospect who's pretty decent.
Yeah, but they chose to do that.
And they picked up Duchesne, who's also pretty decent.
Yeah, I guess, but having a million decent centers doesn't make you any better all around.
True.
So we'll see. We'll see.
How about Arizona this year with Phil Kessel?
Oh, if only Paul Bissonnette would come out of retirement, I think they could.
Oh, God.
Oh, you know what? I will say the Coyotes have some fire jerseys. It's just a shame we'll never be alive to see them. It's a shame. We can only wish. By the way, we never won that Phil Kessel jersey sweepstakes after he got traded to the Coyotes. I entered us in it, and we didn't get picked.
Okay.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah. Any other team you want to cover?
No.
No? All right.
Is there any other team worth covering?
Nah. I mean, maybe the Jets. But
yeah, but when you're a Jet all the way to Broadway and whatever the show said.
Yeah.
Patrick Laine signed a new deal, and happy birthday to him, I guess. I don't know if it's his birthday or not, but I guess, if someone's giving you checks with money on it, normally it's someone's birthday.
All right, well.
With that being said, that'll conclude episode number 51, and we are back.
Yep. Catch you next time.
Everybody make sure that you have your flies zippered up when you go in public.